Join us in the Weekender on 6255 1206. The Canberra Weekender on 2CC.
Welcome back. Lovely to have your company. I'm Tatjana Clancy here until midday. Joined now, firstly, by Zaharov-Reutt. Welcome back again.
Good morning.
He is the editor of TechAdvice.Life. And we are also speaking with Dr. Bobby Cerini, the Acting Questacon Director. Hi there, Bobby.
Hello.
Hello. And also to Luke Millanta, the Australian digital artist featured in Questacon's new exhibition. Hi there.
Good morning.
Hello. Alex, take it away.
Well, Dr. Cerini, good morning. Yeah, let's start with you. Can you please tell us more about the new exhibition and what visitors can expect to see and experience?
So Friend or Foe, The Rise of Artificial Intelligence is a really striking digital art experience, and it's also quite a unique, thought-provoking, deep immersion with AI, which, as we know, is a technology that's got the potential to profoundly reshape the world. And the exhibition explores our relationship with artificial intelligence through more than 100 digital artworks created through generative AI with guidance from humans, in particular Luke Millanta. And at its heart is this huge 14-metre ultra-wide 8K digital screen with a fully narrated motion graphic sequence. And it presents you with some really big questions that will get you thinking and create discussion about some pretty critical issues around, is it permissible for AI to mimic the work of human artists, whether it can be truly creative, is it reinforcing stereotypes, and what the limitations of AI-generated art might be.
It's interesting, Bobby, that you say that because, so we're often talking about AI in this segment with Alex, and I'm often lamenting it a little bit, terrified that it'll take my radio job and, you know, it's gonna take over the world. But Luke, it's an interesting sort of irony that you are creating art when it could potentially do that job for you. Tell me about that dichotomy and how you work within that structure.
Yes. So I stumbled into digital art in 2022 because I like playing with new technologies. So I'm not worried about artificial intelligence taking my job per se. I'm just interested to see what can be done with these new technologies.
But it's interesting that you're making a statement, I guess, by still doing something that's original. And yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I want to promote conversation around artificial intelligence, and I think everybody in society should have a bit of a say about how it will be implemented across the board. And I think artworks are the best way to do this. It allows for people to come and draw their own interpretations and have their own discussions outside of the exhibit.
And just as an aside, but it's related, I mean, Google has just announced with YouTube a thing called Deep Track, and this is where they've got 9 different artists. You can remix some of their songs, you can put lyrics, and it will sing songs in the voice of Sia or Troye Sivan or various different other artists. And that's being allowed by the creators because they want to experiment in this space. Luke, how did you come to work with Questacon on this project?
So as I said, I really stumbled in to this space in 2022, and I did that when I started creating NFTs. And after taking one of those on tour around Australia, I actually approached Questacon to see if they might like to give that NFT a more permanent home. They agreed, and the piece was added to Questacon's Born or Built exhibit earlier this year. And that subsequently led to Questacon and I having further conversations about what else we could do. I and the entire Questacon team were very passionate about AI and how it was being used in society and how it will be used in the future. And those conversations resulted in the Friend or Foe exhibit.
Bobby, you've, I guess, got a lot of permanent exhibits at Questacon, and I imagine this is one of those, revolving sort of new ones. But is AI something that you think you'll be embracing at the centre? Because you're always sort of at the forefront of exhibiting, new technologies there.
Oh, that is a great question. And I really like the example that Alex gave before, where we've got, generative AI, which can be such a great tool for creativity and productivity. And, Questacon is a really creative organisation, so it's very tempting. But it does, at the moment, have quite a few issues, as anyone who's started to play around with it might know. And so I'll give you one example from my personal life, which is when I asked ChatGPT to tell me who Bobby Cerini was, it convincingly said I was a male AFL player. And it made up a series of really detailed biographies for me. None of that was true. And so what it highlights is that at the moment, certainly, mis and disinformation can be quite common with the use of these tools. And there's so many examples where generative AI has created something nonsensical or just factually wrong. So it's really only as good as the information it's drawing on. And as we can see in the exhibition, it can create amazing new combinations of things. But you can also see where it's getting its inspiration from, which is existing imagery and ideas that's available to it, that other humans, that humans have created. And it really raises lots of questions about what creativity is and who AI-created products really belong to. And it does highlight that what we have in society with biases and stereotypes, those can be right, and they do come through in the kind of images we see. And you'll see those in the exhibition. So I guess the question is, we'll use it for specific purposes, but we're going to have to put in really good quality inputs to make sure that what comes out is actually relatable, reliable, and is safe and responsible for our community.
I feel like because my kids absolutely adored Questacon when they were younger, we were there all the time. I feel like the centre itself makes a good statement with that, Bobby, where you've got this new emerging exhibit where you're, talking about it and having people, ponder the whole idea. But the rest of the exhibits, I guess, just really draw on, just basic science and helping kids understand, how the world works around them through play, which I love.
Yeah, and the exhibition does have those playful elements to it. It is different to some of the experiences that you might expect at Questacon, but what we're trying to do is encourage people to come along and see some of what this new emerging technology can do, and in a fun and engaging way, help people consider these deeper questions of ethics, responsibility, accuracy, creativity, copyright, and all of that. And what we've seen so far is our visitors coming through and being really blown away by it because, as I said before, it's visually really spectacular. It's very engaging. And some of the imagery, it's amazing. When we asked it to create, when Luke asked the AI to create images of nurses, prime ministers or engineers, the results were surprising, and I'll leave it at that.
And female AFL players, apparently, Bobby. So
absolutely. You won't see me in the exhibition, but you might see me floating around at Questacon.
I wouldn't mind their paycheck, but anyway, that's another story.
I'm glad you mentioned ethics and responsible AI. I was talking to some people about the ability for AI to be contestable, because if the AI gives you a decision, you need to be able to contest it and say, well, we don't want to go down that path. We want to go down this path. And, AI, please explain why you've made these decisions. But, Bobby, what does it cost to visit the exhibition and how long does it run for? Because for anyone listening, this is a local exhibition. You should take advantage of it.
So, the best thing about a digital exhibition is you can actually send it simultaneously to lots of places across the country. And listeners might be interested to know that right now across Australia, you'll see Questacon exhibitions and programs reaching out to remote and regional communities everywhere. So Luke and I have been talking about whether this exhibition then becomes available much more widely. But at the moment, Friend or Foe will run for about 12 months at Questacon. The cost to get in, so at the moment entry is free for our members and for visitors when you purchase a Questacon ticket, which is $23 for adults and $17.50 for children. But if you come along to Questacon next weekend, entry to the whole centre will be half price as we're going to be celebrating our 35th anniversary. And this is a great way to access the new exhibition. And we've also got stacks of fantastic free activities happening right throughout Friday and Saturday next weekend.
Fantastic. And I guess a question, the name of the exhibit is Friend or Foe. Luke, what are your thoughts on that? Or is the jury still out, I guess, as we learn more about it?
I am certainly an optimist. However, I do acknowledge there are some rough edges that need to be smoothed off. That said, I am hopeful we are moving towards a world where medical research is completed in minutes, not months, where roads are safer because driverless cars are the norm, and where a lot of our more mundane tasks are fully automated, allowing people to be more productive.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's what I like, the idea of increasing accessibility and, taking over the mundane tasks so we can make the art, Luke.
Yes, definitely. I think humans always need to be in control of these systems, and I think we're heading in the right direction overall.
So, Bobby, friend or foe?
So I'm going to sit on the hedge here and say it's potentially a bit of both at the moment, and that's one of the reasons we're having this exhibition, to give people a chance to come in and talk with themselves, our families, and our other members in the community about the kind of opportunities and challenges it has. If we get it right, it's something that can be of enormous benefit to communities and individuals, but we know there's also some risks, and this is something the whole community is going to be interested in getting right. We also know Aussies are hugely early adopters of new technologies, but we know it can also move really fast. It can be pretty hard to keep up. And so we don't want anyone to be left behind. If Australians of all ages and backgrounds and abilities can be responsibly represented and safe from harm when they're using AI, and also reaping its benefits and being in the driver's seat of how we're going to use it in future, we'll be in a really good position. And look, if you look around the use of AI at the moment, there's some incredibly positive applications for it. You know, researchers are using it in bushfire management and to help boost agricultural productivity, for cyber security, protecting our environment like the Great Barrier Reef, and so on. You know, there's a lot of really good instances, and that's what we want more of, these positive, socially beneficial applications. And so I reckon it's definitely a friend, maybe also a bit of a frenemy, as the minister.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Bobby, unfortunately, we're out of time, but I dare say we'll chat to you again next weekend about the anniversary. Thanks for being on the program.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Luke, as well.
And thanks, Luke, as well. Yeah, thank you. So friend or foe, and I guess, people have 12 months to see it, Alex.
That's right, but go and see it soon. I mean, one of the things I wanted to mention briefly was that your smartphone, your Windows, your Mac, everything's going to have generative AI built in as standard. It's coming over the next year. It's going to be there whether you want it or not. Learn how to use it. As Bill Gates said, computing is about to change as we know it forever. It's like going from cassette tapes to 100 million songs available at your fingertips just for the asking. Get involved, learn about it now.
Fair enough. We're going to take a quick break. If you've got a question for Alex, AI or otherwise, 6255 1206, or you can email studio@2cc.net.au.
This is the Canberra Weekender on 2CC.